1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, test 1, 2. One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Harlow 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Harlow 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Harlow test, Harlow test, Harlow test. Harlow test 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 4, 4, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. VK3 CSJ testing. Hello test 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Stand by for the VK3 EKH ASV radio news for this Friday. Hopefully it'll go okay. VK3 CSJ testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, what time is it? Right. I guess we're on. God. All right. Good evening. This is VK3 EKH, VK3 Echo Kilo Hotel, the official station of the Astronomical Society of Victoria, with the regular Friday night broadcast, coming to you from the studios of VK3 CSJ in Narre Warren South. And we're broadcasting on prime frequency of 3541 kilohertz in the 80 metre amateur radio band, lower sideband, and also via the Melbourne television repeater in full HD, VK3 RTV Digital Channel 1. Good evening, viewers. And we're also streaming on my two video streams on Discord HD, and also on my YouTube channel. Just search for VK3 CSJ and look for the live stream. And as I say every week, hopefully that won't fall over for the next hour. But I think so far we're doing okay. Discord can be is the favourable side of things, because the delay between what you're hearing on 80 metres and the visual impact of this broadcast is less than a second, and I think Discord is the preferable method. I've got a group of folks that have joined the Discord chat room and also on the video side of it. Not right now, but they're slowly getting there. Anyway, welcome to the 1st of August, and another month down, and we're steaming towards the end of the year, aren't we? Temperature here in Narrewarren South right now is 7.5 degrees, and virtually no wind at 91% humidity. I wouldn't be surprised if there's already a bit of a fog out there somewhere. Anyway, we've got I think a bit of a short session tonight, but there's more video associated with tonight's broadcast than anything else, so hopefully that'll all run fairly smoothly. But in the meantime, to allow folks to remember that I do this broadcast every Friday night, to come here and tune in and listen, I'll do the usual blurb on the society. So let me just get that ready for a second. One day I'll get this all pre-recorded and I won't need to worry about reading it from the text. I should, after all these years, I should have remembered it off by heart by now. Practically do, actually, but nevertheless, it's always good to have a script. We have an email address as well if you wish to send signal reports tonight. vk3ekh@gmail.com, vk3ekh@gmail.com for any signal reports, and that includes TV, not just on 80 metres. So for you folks that are watching the repeater particularly, I'm interested to know who out there is on RTV, and whatever, Discord and YouTube, just send us an email to say, yeah, we're watching. Okay, the Astronomical Society of Victoria was founded in 1922, and it comprises over 1,800 members scattered about the country and overseas. Membership of the Society is open to all persons with an interest in astronomy, of course. The Society's objectives are to encourage the study and practice of astronomy and to disseminate the knowledge of the science and to provide greater facilities for the study among the members. Monthly meetings are usually held on the second Wednesday of each month. These meetings start at 8 p.m. at the Maulior Hall National Herbarium in Burwood Avenue, Melbourne, near the Melbourne Observatory, which is located not too far from the Shrine of Remembrance. Member meetings are also live streamed for those who cannot attend. Look for the streams on the ASV's YouTube channel and also on Facebook. Parking is available in Burwood Avenue, Dallas Brooks Drive and the surrounding streets. Admission is free and visitors are most welcome. Privileges of membership include the right to borrow books, periodicals and other publications from the Society's extensive library located at Melbourne Observatory, receipt of the ASV's magazine Crux containing articles, news, observing notes and the like, and the free provision of the Astronomical Yearbook. Access is available to telescopes on members' nights held regularly at Melbourne Observatory and after monthly meetings, weather permitting. These instruments include the Society's 300mm equatorial reflector and a 300mm portable reflector. There's also a 200mm refractor managed by the Royal Botanic Gardens, and a recently restored photoheliograph are also housed at the observatory and are accessible as well. The Society also has a number of 200mm reflectors available for short period loan. A member can gain practical experience in use of one of these telescopes before deciding whether or not to buy one for their own. The ASV has a telescope loan scheme. Regular Society meetings are held at the Morley Community Village in Bentley East. Members are encouraged to use the Society's instruments located there in order to gain first-hand experience in telescope use. Members are also encouraged to make use of the Society's country property located near Heathcote, about 90-minute drive north of Melbourne. It provides dark skies suitable for astrophotography. There is a range of instruments available for members to use, the larger two only with appropriate training, and they range from 300mm to 1000mm in aperture. Also located on the site is the 8-metre and 8.5-metre fully steerable radio telescope, which members can access with involvement with the radio astronomy section. Members are encouraged to make and use telescopes. Advice and help on both matters are provided willingly to newcomers desiring to do the same. Instrument making is only one of the several common interest activities catered for within the Society. Other areas of interest that members can participate in include deep sky observing, astrophotography, lunar and planetary observing, auroral, meteor, comet, radio astronomy and computing, cosmology and astrophysics, historical studies and research in astronomy in general. Contact details for various section directors can be found in the ASV's or on the ASV's website at www.asv.org.au. That's www.asv.org.au. Further information may be obtained by visiting the ASV website, of course, and notifications of events are given in the Crux Extra bulletins, which are an email newsletter, and that's generally published every other week or so. Also take note that the ASV will conform to all government health directives, thus ASV events may be required to be cancelled, moved or postponed. If you wish to write a letter to the ASV instead of going via the internet, you would address the envelope to the Secretary, Astronomical Society of Victoria, GPO Box 1059, Melbourne, Victoria 3001. Okay, that's that done. And next on the list here, I'm just going to do a quick check here because I'm losing picture off the repeater. Now I don't know whether that's my end or somewhere else. Yeah, okay, no, I've lost the signal from the repeater, so I believe I'm getting into the repeater okay, but for some reason the signal strength from the repeater has just gone down to 0. I don't know exactly why it's done that right now, right in the middle of things, but I'm fairly certain that I'm okay. So I shall plod along. Somebody who is watching RTV might like to just come up on the liaison frequency and just quickly say, yeah, you're there, no worries. So anyway, I'm listening there. Okay, now, next weekend is the Vastrock conference occurring. So I've got a slide here for that. Where is it? Okay. Now, I've given Vastrock the plug over the last few months since they've been going for it. And the ASV is once again the host for this year's Vastrock. I think it's every 4 years that it occurs. And Victorian Astronomical Conference, Astro Conference, that's what Vastrock basically stands for. And let me bring up this thing. Okay, so the date's next Saturday, 9th of August, and the doors open at 8:30 a.m. Program begins at 9 a.m. The location is the Eden Oak Geelong at 20 Adams Court, East Geelong, hosted by the Astronomical Society of Victoria, the Geelong section. And you do have to pay $145 for a day pass, which includes all talks, morning tea and lunch. There is a dinner function add-on, which is $50, and that's including the evening meal and question and answer panel. They say here, join us for the Vastrock 2025, a full-day celebration of astronomy, science and community in the tranquil garden surrounds of Eden Oak, Geelong, hosted by ASV Geelong section. This event brings together space enthusiasts, educators, amateur astronomers and experts from across the state for a day of stellar inspiration and connection. Enjoy presentations from 15 engaging speakers exploring topics from radio astronomy to STEM, education, space exploration, and everything in between. And the next part of that, because I had to create 2 slides for this, the keynote speakers. The keynote speakers are Dylan O'Donnell, astrophotographer and science communicator. Now, if you don't know who Dylan O'Donnell is, I can suggest to you to go to YouTube. Go to the YouTube and then type in Dylan O'Donnell, and you'll very quickly find that the astronomer bloke. And he's got a heap of videos associated with his dome, getting his dome installed, how to do astronomy and all this sort of thing. He's quite a good communicator through the camera, and so he's one of the main keynote speaker for next weekend. Dylan O'Donnell is down because he lives up in New South Wales somewhere. Then you've got Elaine O'Healy, an educator, presenter and astronomer outreach advocate. And then special guests include Stephen Salter, acclaimed archival director of Apollo 8, Unseen Apollo 11 and the newly released Sally Ride documentary. And then followed by Bill Stent, the telescope gent, as they call him, guiding us on a tour of the night sky. So including with your day pass is morning and tea and lunch and access to wall speaker sessions and there are telescope viewing sessions, of course, weather permitting. So that's all next Saturday. You can get your ticket if you go to I think there's a link provided for on the ASV webpage. So if you go to ASV website, you'll find the link there for getting and arranging for a ticket to get down there. But anyway, it's all next Saturday. All right, where am I? There and there. All right, you're tuned to ASV Radio, VK3EKH. And I still haven't got the repeater back on the downlink. I've got a poor antenna connection on my downlink antenna, and I really must try and fix that. But we haven't had any rain today, so I'm surprised that it's playing up right now. Very unusual. Okay, next on the list, if I can, yes, Sky Notes. Okay. All right, so Tanya Hill, the resident astronomer at the Planetarium Science Works in Williamstown, has released the Sky Notes for August, and going by what I'm seeing on the website here, this coming up is the National Science Week for 2025. Go beyond the exhibits with pop-up science and rare collections and hands-on discovery this National Science Week. So let me just click on that for a second and see what they're saying. National Science Week, August 9 to Sunday 17th of August. So not this weekend, but starting from next weekend. So yeah, from next weekend onwards is the National Science Week, decoding the universe, exploring the unknown with nature's hidden language, unearth hidden worlds, meet the minds behind the museum and experience science in action during the National Science Week 2025. This August, Museums Victoria invites you to decode the universe through rare encounters with collections, researches and ideas that shape our understanding of life, Earth and the cosmos. Wander through deep time and living science as the museum covers alive with pop-up talks and behind-the-scenes insights from glittering minerals to prehistoric giants. Discover the secrets of our natural world alongside the scientists who study it every day. So that's coming up in a week's time, National Science Week. Also, there's a special event at Melbourne Museum on Saturday the 23rd of August, The Future of Space. What kind of civilization are we taking into space? Those values, knowledge and stories will mould the new places we build. So that's a special event. If I click on that, it'll probably open up another page. But anyway, that's coming up Saturday 23rd. I'll probably promote that next week. And there's a STEM workshop, STEM weekend. It's a workshop until 22nd of November, so this seems to be an ongoing one, that one. Engage with science hands-on at our STEM workshops for girls and non-binary people aged 8 to 12. All right, let's get into Sky Notes for this month. And I am back on the TV. Let me just check my signal quality through the satellite receiver. See where it is. Yep, it's hovering around 17%, so I haven't quite got 100% signal yet, but at least I can see that I'm up there through there. Thanks for everybody making comments there on the Liaison channel too. So at least I know I'm there. Okay. Melbourne Sun Times. As of today, sunrise was at 7:20 a.m., setting at 5:33 p.m., with the day length being about 10 hours and 12 minutes. Monday, the 11th of August, sunrise will be at 7:09, setting at 5:41. Then Thursday, the 21st of August, sunrise will be at 6:57, setting at 5:49. And then by the end of the month, on Sunday the 31st, sunrise will be at 6:43 and setting at 5:58 with the day length 11 hours and 15 minutes. So our days are getting progressively longer. Moon phases. There is a first quarter tonight. There's a full moon on Saturday the 9th, the third quarter on Saturday the 16th, a new moon on Saturday the 23rd, and then back to a first quarter on Sunday the 31st. Tanya says here that we have an extra first quarter moon this month, resulting from our calendar months not all being an equal number of days, and the full lunar cycle being on average 29.54 days. Okay, moon distances. The lunar apogee furthest from the Earth is on Saturday the 2nd, it's tomorrow, at 404,161 kilometres. Then on Friday the 15th of August, there will be a lunar perigee closest to the Earth, where the moon will look a little bit bigger than it will be tomorrow, at 369,288 kilometres. Planets. Mercury is not visible this month. It is too close to the Sun, having just had its inferior solar conjunction, i.e. passing in front of the Sun. Venus can be seen this month as an earlier morning planet in the pre-dawn skies from 5 a.m. in the east before fading as the sunrise approaches. So Venus is still quite a dominant planet first thing in the morning, that very bright starry looking object in the eastern sky against that twilight blue colour. Mars appears in August at twilight in the northwest from 6:30 p.m. before setting by 9:30 p.m. Jupiter has moved behind the Sun for its superior solar conjunction, but will be visible from 5 a.m. in the northeast before being lost to dawn's early light. Saturn remains in our skies from around 10 p.m. In the east, and then northeast before lost to view by dawn. Meteors. This month's meteor shower is the Perseids, which peaks on the 13th and 14th of August, although not strong in the southern hemisphere. They are fast, bright, can leave persistent trails, and come from a point below the northeast horizon in the northern constellation of Perseus. These meteors result from Comet Swift-Tuttle, which passed near the Sun in 1991, leaving a trail of particles for the Earth to regularly pass through. So that's what this is. Stars and constellations. In the north, if we turn our chairs to the north this month, evening skies show Virgo and Spicer, the 15th brightest star at night and 262 light years away, have moved towards the west, while Leo has largely disappeared below the northwest horizon. However, Libra is high in the north, and in the northeast is Aquila, the eagle, with its principal star Altar, the 12th brightest star at night, at 17 light years from us. If we turn our chairs to the east, very high in the east after sunset, and slowly moving overhead during the night as our planet rotates to the east, is Scorpius, with its impressive curving line of stars. The central star of the three that form the Scorpion's body is the red giant Antares at 34 light years, and the 16th brightest star at night. Rising behind the following during the night is the Centaur Sagittarius and its bow and arrow, forming the famous teapot asterism. Actually, I wonder if that's visible at the moment. What I can do here for you, ladies and gentlemen, is go to our all sky cam up at Heathcote. There it is. That is the night sky currently up at Heathcote. The moon is behind the tree there. So the moon is obscuring a lot of the fainter objects in the sky as I speak. But you can see the galactic centre running from south to north, right up the middle of the image. And I'm just seeing if I can make out Scorpius. If I bring up the constellations, it might help. Where are we? So you can superimpose the constellations, and yes, Scorpius is just above the tree. So if you see where the moon is shining through the tree, and run an arrow from the tree to the centre image there, you can see Scorpius. Unfortunately, my cursor doesn't show on the screen here, but you can make out where Scorpio is, the hook. There's the three stars asterism that I was just referring to, and kind of a hook in the tail towards the centre of our galaxy, and that's virtually directly above our heads as we speak. So that's the real live camera up there at Heathcote at the Leon Mao Dark Sky site. Live view of the sky. And like I said, we can get rid of the constellations and just have it naked. There we go. Impressive stuff, isn't it? All right. Okay, so back to Sky Notes. If we turn our chair to the south, standing high in the southwest is Crux, the Southern Cross, on a moonless night, which is not quite right at the moment, on a moonless night and certainly away from city lights can be seen the dark patch known as the Coal Sack Nebula. Let's just go back to our all-sky image. And yeah, it's a bit difficult. Bring up the constellations again. There we go. Southern Cross is down there somewhere at the bottom. Yeah, there it is. Damn, I wish I could get my cursor so I can... If I had a laser pointer working, that would work. But almost where you see, for those watching the video, and this is what's important about this program thing I do, you've got to be watching video either on YouTube, Discord, or by the Melbourne TV repeater. But you can see Southern Cross just at the bottom of that image there. It's on its side. And you can see south. At the bottom of the screen is the dish, the 8.5 metre dish, where the south is written, and a little bit to the right of that you can see the Southern Cross. The screen's just updated, and of course the moon is shining brighter through the tree right now, which has just reduced sensitivity a little bit. Once that moon goes down, give or take 20 minutes, yeah, you'll see things a bit brighter, but somewhere in that area there is the coal sack that I'm referring to. So anyway, let's go back to me. Actually, I'll leave that there. I'll just continue on with the thing, the report. So if we look towards the south, standing high in the southwest is the Crux, Southern Cross. On a moonless night, and certainly away from city lights, can be seen a dark patch known as the Coal Sack Nebula, a vast region of interstellar dust that blocks our view of most distant stars. To its left are the pointers, Alpha and Beta Centauri, the brightest and second brightest stars in the constellation of Centaurus, which is the other horse-human hybrid from ancient Greek myth. Alpha Centauri is also known as Regal Centaurus, the foot of the centaur, and is the fourth brightest star in the night sky. Until very recently, it was thought to be our sun's nearest neighbour at 4.37 light years. We see what appears to be one star, but a modest telescope will reveal it is in fact two: Alpha Centauri A and Alpha Centauri B, in close orbit around the barycenter or common centre of mass. However, bound to these two stars, but as considerable distance is the faint, small red dwarf star Proxima Centauri, known also as Alpha Centauri C. Our nearest star system is therefore a triple system. Proxima, as the name suggests, is currently the closest star to our Sun at 4.24 light years and hosts planets. Announced in 2016 was Proxima Centauri B, a star slightly more massive than Earth and a star slightly more massive than Earth, and quickly orbiting much closer than Mercury does in our Sun. It is presumed to be tidally locked, with only one face turned to its star. The second planet, Proxima Centauri C, was discovered in 2020 and is about 7 Earth masses, and it lies further out in a 5-year orbit and may possess a ring system. A third planet, Proxima Centauri D, was claimed in 2022 with a quarter of Earth's mass, orbiting even closer in a 5-day orbit. Low in the southeast is the 10th brightest star Achernar in the constellation of Eridani, the river, which sits at 144 light years from Earth, and in the southwest lies the second brightest star Canopus in the constellation of Carina, the Keel, at 313 light years away. From our southern latitude, both these stars never disappear below the horizon. And there's a name for that. I've just forgotten what it is. There is a particular name for that. Oh, it's just there on the tip of my tongue. If we turn to the west, low in the northwest is Arcturus, the third brightest star at night, and 37 light years from us in the constellation of Bootes. Corvus, or Latin for cow, sits squarely in the west in the evening this month in the ancient Greek mythology. However, this sacred bird is a raven that perches on the back of Hydra, the sea serpent. The serpent's nearby head is a little higher up in the west and marks one end of a long narrow body that snakes to the horizon in the longest of the traditional 88 constellations. There it is. All right, I'm losing the picture from the repeater again. It's just playing me up a bit at the moment. All right, back to me. Now, next on the sky notes is the International Space Station. At a distance of 400 kilometres above the Earth, the International Space Station completes an orbit every 90 minutes. On Monday, the 4th of August, there's a passing at 5:51 a.m. to 5:55 a.m. coming in from the west-southwest to the northeast. Then on the evening of Tuesday the 12th, there's a passing at On the evening of Tuesday the 12th of August, there's a passing at 7:12 p.m. to 7:16 p.m. coming in from the northwest to the east-southeast. On Wednesday the 13th of August, there's a passing starting at 6:24 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. north-northwest to east-southeast. Then at the end of the month, there's another good passing on Saturday the 30th of August, starting at 7:02 p.m. to 7:07 p.m. coming in from the southwest to the northeast. That's the brightest passes, the ones that go pretty much right overhead. But if you go to heavensabove.com, the website heavensabove.com, Heavens Above gives predictions for other times that the International Space Station does pass over Australia at different angles across the sky. And once you've added your location to the configuration file on Heavens Above, you can get accurate idea of when these passes will occur in your location. So heavensabove.com is the website to go to for all that interesting details. It's full of information, that one. Now, I note that it's coming up to 25 to 11. Sky Notes always takes a lot to read. I'll just go through a few of these dates, not all of them. On this day, on the 3rd of August 2004, the Messenger mission to Mercury was launched. On the 4th of August 2007, Phoenix Mars lander was launched. On August the 5th, 1998, NASA's Near-Earth Object Program is created to detect and catalogue asteroids that approach Earth. On the 5th of August 1939, first person to walk... it always trips me up that. it's just the way it's written. On the 5th of August 1939, it's correct, first person to walk on the moon. So I read that and I think, no, that's not right, but finish the sentence, Clint. So on the 5th of August 1939, first person to walk on the moon, American Neil Armstrong, of course, is born. On the 6th of August 2012, the Mars rover Curiosity lands on the Red Planet. Also on the 6th of August 1996, a meteorite from Mars discovered in Antarctica is said by NASA to contain possible microfossils of bacteria. And on the 7th of August 1959, Discoverer 1 returns the first satellite images of Earth, 1959. On the 10th of August, 1675, the Royal Greenwich Observatory is established in the east of London. Also on the 10th of August 1990, Magellan arrives at Venus and begins radar mapping of its surface. And one more date, on the 12th of August 1877, astronomer Asaph Hall at the US Naval Observatory discovers Mars tracks are clear evidence. There's something wrong with the word here. I think it's evident. Astronomer Asaph Hall at the US Naval Observatory discovers Mars tracks are clearly evident. 12.6 kilometre diameter moon Deimos. Yeah, something's wrong with the sentence there. It's not a complete word. Something they've put a full stop in there where it shouldn't be. Anyway, enough of that. All right, let's move on. We'll get back to the rest of those dates later on, probably next week. Now, I want to bring up this little story. Some of you may know this bloke. Some may have never seen him at all. Thanks to Paul, VK3KHZ, for letting me know about this one. Broome astronomer, tour guide and TV star Greg Quick, known as the Space Grandif, dies aged 62. Some might know Greg Quick. He was, if you'd ever lived in Western Australia and if you're interested in astronomy, you'd know the bloke, most likely. But Greg became fairly popular, and at some point the ABC picked him up, and there was a show that the ABC used to broadcast for an hour or so, where they'd have a panel of astronomers. I think one year they actually had Professor Brian Cox as one of the guest astronomers, but they'd also invite Greg to be part of the panel of people that would ask questions from folks that would be phoning in with questions and the like. And that's where I remember him from, is this bearded bloke from the ABC live TV coverage when they used to do this sort of stuff a long time ago. But I've got a few pictures of this guy. I'll just bring up the first picture. And I think, like I said, for those that don't know him by name, might recognise the guy. Here he is. And the article here, in short, astronomer and tour guide Greg Quick has died at age 62, arriving in Broome in 1982. He introduced generations of locals and end visitors to the beauty of the Kimberley's night skies. He rose to national and international prominence on the ABC and BBC's stargazing live TV specials. Western Australian astronomer, TV star and tour guide Greg Quick has died at age 62, a legend in Broome, 2,000 kilometres north of Perth. Quick, also known as the Space Grandif, for his distinctive white beard, introduced generations of visitors and locals to the wonders of the universe through his astro tours from the Kimberley town. He later rose to national and international prominence on the ABC and BBC, with the stargazing live specials appearing alongside Professor Brian Cox. He was diagnosed with cancer in 2023. In a statement, his family said he was survived by a legion of people whose lives he touched. He brought the universe to us all and translated it into a language we all understood, the statement read. It goes on to say that he was watched by millions of people around the globe and carried out his life work with inspirational spirit and freedom. There's another picture here. This one here, and continuing on, where is it here? In this particular picture, it's captioned, hundreds of thousands of people enjoyed Greg's astronomy tours, which ran for 28 years. His enthusiasm for the stars and philosophy took hold as a young man working in Kimberley. You think about astronomy and often it's presented as stuff that's out there. The self-taught astronomer explained to ABC Radio in 2017. He says, but my take on it is that we're on a planet and we're moving through space. is the way he would explain things. These are things I can take out of your head and I can put them at your feet, he said. Born in 1961, he grew up surrounded by tall trees in the mill towns of southwest WA, where his father was a forester. He recalled a free and natural-based childhood, magnificently tall trees that I spent a lot of my childhood underneath or at the top of. And he loved the windy days because he'd get up to the top and he'd be swaying at 6 feet from side to side. And he says, we loved a bit of adventure, he said. We'd climb out onto some of the branches about 150 feet above and hang upside down by our legs and bounce up and down. There it is. And there's another picture here. Let me bring that up. As a pearl diver, Greg learned the cycles of the moon through the tides. But he soon fell in love with the coastal Broome, arriving on a motorbike in 1982 and after dropping out of the marine biology degree in Queensland. Quick then became a pearl diver and a mechanic. His interest in stars took hold after he observed the Kimberley's big tides and spent plenty of time in a swag gazing at the night sky. As he shared his new passion with friends, they suggested that he run tours showing others the beauty and the wonder of the universe. He says, I started talking about the stars, about what I've noticed about how and where they're moving amongst them, and they told me to keep talking, he said. After handing out a few flyers advertising an astronomy tour in 1995, he was soon running events 7 nights a week in Broome. An estimated 100,000 plus people have listened in awe over 28 years to his softly spoken explanations about the night sky. There's another image here. There it is. That image here is during Broome's Shinju Matsuri. Greg carried the head of the parade dragon through the streets of Chinatown for about 20 years. That was one of his other little jobs he used to enjoy. Quick regularly featured in Broome's annual Shinju Matsuri, carrying the head of the Sami the dragon, a 30-metre parade dragon through the streets. The spirit of the place is just amazing, he said of Broome, declaring it one of the country's most beautiful places. There's something unique about the place, he told UK comedian Bill Bailey, while the two stargazed together in 2023. Everything here seems bigger, the colours are bigger, the tides are bigger, the barramundi are also big as well. He said that it's almost like our hearts have an opportunity to be bigger here as well. And the final picture here, this one here. Greg Quick was dubbed Space Gandalf after appearing on ABC TV and BBC TV programs around the world. But it was his first appearance on the ABC and BBC, which saw him gain international acclaim. His distinctive following, white beard, big hat, and philosophical approach quickly led fans around the world to dub him the Space Gandalf, I've already said a million times. The author and TV presenter stayed grounded, however, surfing whenever Broome's famous Cable Beach would push up a swell and or riding a motorbike on the open road. He was exhilarated to experience the total solar eclipse in Exmouth on an island in April 2023. This day has been huge. My body spent, my heart full. A crash into a deep eclipse-fueled communion with other worlds, he wrote in his 12,000 Facebook followers. Bill Bailey, visiting Broome for the first time as part of his Wild West Australia ABC TV series, asked him if he had found his niche in the world by sharing the galaxy with others. And Greg says, it brings me a lot of joy. Quick agreed. Everyone thinks it's all about stars, but it's not. It's about people. Standing alongside someone who sees Saturn's rings for the first time is like, wow, I could do that forever. Quick is survived by his parents, a sister and an adult daughter. His family has asked that for this time to be respected, and a memorial service will be held in Broome at a date to be announced. This was published on Friday, 7th of June. So, yeah. Now, I've got a little video of this bloke. It only goes for about 5 minutes. I'll see if I can run that. I've just got to be aware of how much audio I've got here. So let me just tee this video up. It should be okay on Discord, and let me see if we can run this. Oops, not over there.
Everybody seems to think that, my game is astronomy, but, I'd have to say that it's more about people than it is about stars. And, there's certainly a wonderful tool for expanding ourselves outside of ourselves. Being under the stars has taught me many things, and being able to share those stars with other people, well, I've noticed that they can learn from those stars too. My name is Greg Quick. I often get called Space Gandalf. I'm an astronomer, and I haven't always been an astronomer. Along the way I was a mechanic, I was a pearl diver, and I guess I'm just one of these people that's naturally curious about everything. So being a pearl diver was actually my first astronomical step, living your life by the tides, and the tides of course are governed by the moon. So that tuning in, that spatial awareness, I guess, is something that I've always been able to do. It's also what made me a mechanic, understanding the interaction of things with each other. So in 1995, I put out some little flyers around town to see if anyone wanted to come stargazing, and within 2 weeks I was out 7 nights a week. Well, you won't hear theory from me on my tours. It isn't what I do. Right from the beginning of Astro Tours, I would have astrophysicists coming out. And they'd sit through my presentation. At the end, they'd come up and they go, I'm an astrophysicist, and I've never thought about it like that before. It was a really powerful moment in my life when I realised that the Earth was turning. I was working in the Kimberley, sleeping out under the stars every night, and I got really quite excited about lying on my back on the curved surface of the Earth while it turned me through space. That's the moment it translated from being a piece of intellectual knowledge that I knew because somebody had told me about it to being a reality in my life. I guess what I'm presenting is what I would call intensely practical astronomy, and it's the seeing of that which seems to trigger these insights in people. Yeah, there's a whole series of common revelations that I see people go through. I want to talk about this planet. Here, this is east, and right at this moment we're doing just under 1,000 miles an hour that way. Yeah, you can feel it, can't you? I was talking to someone the other day and I said to them that I live in Broome, and they said that's got to be the place in Australia that's the least like Australia. And I thought, that's a pretty good take on Broome. I mean, Broome it's a different place. Everything that happens here seems to be bigger. The tides are bigger, the colours are bigger, the barramundi are bigger. It's almost like people's hearts are bigger in Broome too. So I guess in this world we have many distractions that keep us from following the thing that we should be following, which to me would be what's in our heart. We have our mobile phones, which we're kind of glued to. This stuff is poison. It's a real trap that will pull any of us in. It tends to put us out of touch with the things that are really going on. So, watching the movements that are going on around us all the time and becoming aware of them, for me, has let me know that all of these things are on track. As much as we can feel out of sorts as humans, it's almost like, you are where you're supposed to be. And to settle into that and to allow that to be in your life, then perhaps it would become easier for us to realise what our next step is. And I guess that's what I've learned from the planets, is that, they're all in the right place, so we must be too. So the best thing you can do is just take yourself out under the stars and look. If you really want to, take a pair of binoculars and go exploring in the sky. And when I say exploring, you're going to find things in those binoculars. You're going to find star clusters, you're going to find nebula. And you don't have to know what they are to just appreciate their pure beauty. And that beauty that you come to appreciate, there's a very good chance that it's going to rub off on you. Well, what I love most about what I do is seeing the looks on people's faces. Seeing people's auras light up is just treasure. And they're going to carry that light, because once it's sparked, you pretty much can't turn it off.
There we go, back here, Valet Greg Quick, and it would have been, I think, a very interesting chap to have known him. So there it is. But like I say, I know I've seen him during the ABC specials. So there it is. Okay, next on the scheme of things, what do I have? Oh, yes. Now, some of you may have noticed that there was an interesting light in the sky over Queensland. It was particularly noticed. I'll bring that up here. I've got a picture of it. If I can just find it, there it is. This is how it looked to a lot of people that were filming it with their mobile phones. I've just taken a still image of the video because the video is laced with F-bombs all over the place. People are just saying, "What the F is that?" So I can't play that. But nevertheless, this is what they were seeing. And honestly, nobody knew what it was. The moon actually wasn't too far from this image. Well, it's been determined basically that it was a rocket launch from India, and what we're seeing there is the main booster still firing engine and a separation in place happening. And while I'm talking about it, I can run. Oh, there's a picture of the rocket in question. And let me just bring up the article that I've got here. Live coverage of NASA's ISRO's NISAR launch begins. So that's it before it was launched. There is a video here which goes for only a minute or so. I'll just run that while I talk about it, and just want to make sure that there's no audio associated with this. So I run that. Yep, no audio. Yep, all right. Oops.
1, 0.
Kill that. All right, so there's the rocket launch. And going back to the article, live launch coverage is underway from NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Southern California. Sorry, that's the wrong one. Actually, that's something that is happening right now. All right. It was India. I'm reading something. I found another article, but anyway, it's launching a satellite which is designed to monitor the shift in the Earth's crust at a very, very high precision, and see, there's a paragraph here that says the satellite will provide high-resolution data, enabling scientists to comprehensively monitor the planet's land, ice, and infrastructure services like never before, building a detailed record of how they change over time. The information that NISAR provides will help decision makers, communities and scientists monitor major infrastructure and agricultural fields, refine understanding of natural hazards such as landslides and earthquakes, and help teams prepare for and respond to disasters like hurricanes, floods and volcanic eruptions. The satellite will also provide key global observations of changes to ice sheets, glaciers and permafrost, as well as forests and wetlands. So yeah, that's essentially, oops, image has stopped. Okay, I'll come back to me. Hang on, that's the wrong one. vMix and bring that up. So yeah, so that all that action produced this image in the sky over Queensland, and it had a lot of people looking up and wondering what the hell it was. So I thought I'd cover that. I first saw that on Nikki Osborne's Facebook page. Some of you might know Nikki. She's a comedian and TV personality, and she's currently doing a morning radio program on one of the FM stations. But I've known Nikki since the Quizmania days, late on TV night, Channel 9 used to run Quizmania, and I was addicted to that for a little while. But I shouldn't really mention that, but nevertheless, that's how I found out about Nikki. And she's got a Facebook page, of course. If you're on Facebook, I'd suggest finding her page, because I think you'll find her rather amusing. She's a real hoot with her comedy. Anyway, apart from all that, she had the camera out, and she was on a balcony somewhere, and she was filming this light, this image from her camera. And she was saying, "What the F is this? What?" Anyway, Dr. Brad Tucker, some might know that name. Brad Tucker, he's a astrophysicist, I think. But anyway, Dr. Brad Tucker is well known amongst astronomical circles, and he came up on Nikki's Facebook page to offer an explanation of what it could be. So, and then of course Channel 7 followed it up. I think it was tonight's Channel 7. Yeah, Channel 7 News followed it up as well, and had the same video. All right, it's coming up to the hour. Let me see what I had next to go. There was a launch. SpaceX has just launched Crew 11 astronauts to the ISS. That happened just a moment ago. I did have a live feed running, and let me see if I can just switch to that right now. All right, so that is meant to be a live feed, but it seems to have paused for a minute. Maybe I can. Oh, there we are. If I hit play, it'll go. So let me just go see if I can go back. This is the current live feed of the capsule with the astronauts.
When we were kids. Yeah.
I'm not altogether certain whether they've launched yet. No, it's T-minus 2 minutes, so it still hasn't launched.
Completely seated.
Let me just see if that's because I've put a hold on things.
This is their lineup from left to right.
Let me just run this video, not video, but I'm fast forwarding things at the moment.
That goes on the umbilical port. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, no, that appears to be the latest imagery coming through.
The space program,
so if they haven't launched, they're still to launch, and they're strapping in the astronauts into the SpaceX capsule, waiting to go for a launch. So that's all yet to happen, if it hasn't happened already. It's a bit of a trick because it's on a live YouTube feed. So just thought I'd mention that. And there was something else. Yeah, no, I won't worry about that. There was a report from Tamitha as well, but it's already out of date. She released a solar report earlier in the week, and it only covered until Thursday, I think. So if I ran Tamitha's YouTube latest solar report, it really is only historical, as is covering the last few days of this week. So it's not not looking at over the weekend and the next 4 days. So I won't worry about running that. I'll let that go for the moment. So what I'll do is I'll go straight into spaceweather.com and we'll see what's happening there. So this is the current disk of the sun as we speak. If we could look at the sun right now, excuse me, that's all where all the sunspots are currently sitting on the disk of the sun. And the solar wind is currently at 503.3 kilometres a second at a density of 3.13 protons per cubic centimetre. The sunspot number is 138. The radio sun, the flux density is 145 solar flux units, measured at a wavelength of 10.7 centimetres. So the current flux is 145 solar flux units. The aurora over Antarctica at the moment looks a bit like this. If I can run it here we go. So that is the current auroral ring. It's quite strong. There's no it's only a 50% chance of seeing it. If you're down there at South Tasmania, you might notice a subtle glow in the sky. But nevertheless, there's always a good ring of activity over Antarctica, and that's the current view of it there anyway. The coronal image is looking like that. Hang on a sec. Go back to the space weather thing. Yep, so there's, as they report, there are no significant coronal holes. Now, you might remember last week there was a pretty decent black mark on the sun there. There's a little bit, just in the centre of that, but as I say, there's no significant coronal holes facing Earth at the moment. The KP index is 2.67, and the 24-hour max will be again 2.67. So that's considered quiet. Just looking at what else they've got here. A shadow is about to fall across Saturn. Amateur astronomers, prepare your telescopes. The shadow of Titan is about to fall across Saturn. The transit will occur on Sunday the 3rd of August between 06:25 and 11:04 UTC. Submit your photos here. So there it is, you astrophotographers. I can't quite join that group yet. But on Sunday, look for Saturn if it is visible, and see if you can see Titan. That'll be an interesting picture. I think that's about it. There is an article about space hurricanes are real. Hurricane season just got worse. Chinese researchers have discovered a new kind of storm at the edge of space, and they call it space hurricane. The first known example appeared in Defence Meteorological Satellite images on the 20th of August 2014. A massive swirl of charged particles appear above the North Pole, spinning silently. It resembled a terrestrial hurricane in shape, with spiral arms and a calm eye glowing with auroral light. There is a kind of an image of this, which I'll just flash on the screen very quickly to you. There it is. It's a bit blurry, but it's an illustration of what the space hurricanes look like. So they've been discovered since 2014, it seems, and the hurricanes' effects mimicked those of actual geomagnetic storms. Using GPS data from the Canadian High Arctic Ionospheric Network, the researchers found that the satellite signals passing through the hurricane's edge experienced strong phase scintillations, a type of twinkling that can cause or reduce GPS accuracy. Meanwhile, ground-based magnetometers in Greenland recorded sharp shifts in the Earth's magnetic field as large as 400 Newton Teslas, I think that is. That's an interesting phenomenon that we haven't seen before. All right, that's about it from the Space Weather Report in a nutshell. Essentially, I will end it there, I think. And with the very last thing to mention, of course, that as of the 1st of August 2025, there were 2,349 potentially hazardous asteroids. That figure has not changed in a long time, so it's almost not necessary to mention anymore until it changes. I was going to try and find the current 11-year solar cycle, because we're now on the 2 o'clock part of the cycle. The cycle is definitely going down, so we've now passed maxima, solar maxima, and we're now on the other side of the cycle as it now goes down to minima, and we're in that 1 o'clock time zone, if you want to picture it that way. And I was going to try and quickly show the latest, but I won't worry about that. I'll do that next week. All right, I hope you've enjoyed tonight's session. Let me just check my email to see if there's any emails that have come through before I go to the air. Inbox. There's a report from Stephen in Ferntree Gully, and it looks like he's given me a report from various SDRs across the country. Ferntree Gully, it's 20 over 9. Adelaide, it's 5 over 9. Perth, it's no signal. Oh, we've got to do something about that. Newcastle in New South Wales, of course, where else is it? It's 10 over 9. Auckland, New Zealand is 10 over 9. YouTube is perfect reception. The BATC, I forgot about the BATC feed. Perfect reception. Thank you, Mr. Fang. Steve, I appreciate that. You're probably gone to sleep anyway by now. We have Scott, VK3SMA, watching as well. He says, just a quick one to say hi, enjoying the Friday night broadcast via YouTube. We'll listen on RF next week and send a report. Yeah, thanks, Scott. Excellent work. Thanks, mate. Andrew, VK3KIS, has also logged in, saying that he's monitoring 80 metres, 5 and 9. And I'm not sure if John De Kaiser is listening, but g'day, John, if you are listening as well. He's one of the members of the radio astronomy section of ASV. G'day, John, if you are there. And anybody else from the RAS section, for that matter, if you are viewing. And anybody else from ASV. All right. And a quick look at Discord. I can see Andrew's there. Cassiopeia, g'day, Nebs. Dallas, g'day Dallas, and Steve, VK3SPX, is also there as well. And a quick look at the chat room, because I always forget to look at the chat room. I need to set up a separate monitor for this, so I have to do that. Just having a quick scan of what there is. Cassiopeia says space scanned of what a legend. Yeah, I think he was, no doubt about that. What a pity, cancer. I hate this cancer crap. I mean, honestly. There's a bloke that's lived out in the country, fresh air, away from supermarkets.